championship may have been decided with Rangers winning it, but tonight is another chance for a win at our season finale at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SnB's F1 Series Finale. I have David in the booth with me tonight. How you doing, David?
Oh, thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. We're having some technical difficulties, but so far everything seems to be working. Twitch was having issues, so season finale here, and as I said, Rangers has won the championship here. Now we do have, he was not supposed to be here tonight, David. He was going to miss it and still was able to capture the championship last week. However, tonight, Ferrari was going to be the winner for the constructor standings. Since Rangers is here, that may change everything. So we're going to have to see what the battle ends up being for the constructor standings.
I'm just looking at the standings there. That there's a 14-point gap between Ferrari and Mercedes. Ferrari having the advantage here. So you're one driver. That's all you really need with 25 points. So
right, Ferrari has
for constructors. I still have everything to play for.
Ferrari has two drivers here tonight. Mercedes has two drivers here tonight. So I'm thinking from what the drivers were saying, Rangers, if he wins, they're going to have to finish. Ferrari team will have to finish ahead of J-Mac in order to keep the constructor standing. So we'll see what happens tonight. But these guys are in qualifying, and it is going to be a 36-lap race tonight. I'm expecting times to be about a minute 7 as we saw in practice. So we'll find out who can get those times. But Jacob, Pokey, and I'm sure Rangers and Mayor of Bag City, I'm thinking we're going to see some of them. And I don't know if you see this on your screen, David, but I have one of the drivers actually on the grid that's not even showing. It's just a blank space. I've never seen that before.
I'm seeing that right now. That's very unusual.
Yeah.
Anyone's trying any way to figure out who that is.
Let's see if we can go up. Yeah, it's not even showing.
The Aston Martins.
We'll see. Could it be? No, Culture is there. I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be close. Savage, what's up? How are you? I hope you're doing well tonight. It's going to be the season finale here tonight, so it's going to be a great race, a really, really fun track. And before I get distracted, I have to show you guys, if you do not know about the Brazilian Grand Prix, let's take a look at the track video.
The stage is set and the curtain is rising for another Formula One Grand Prix. We're expecting close fights up and down the field today, so hold on tight, we're moments away from lights out. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the two DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today.
All right, there you have it. That is the track tonight. It is going to be a very fast track. We're going to have a tricky section in Sector 2, so a lot of speed besides that, and a technical section in Sector 2. So these guys are going to have to watch it. It's going to be a fun night tonight, David.
Very, very much. Brazil always seems to be very exciting. It's a very, very fast track as well. So yeah, it was always the final race of the season before Abu Dhabi got added to the calendar. Personally, me, I feel like it should be the last week because it always brings excitement when it comes to the schedule. So, and even though the championship's already been decided, I still see it be exciting here.
Oh, absolutely. I think so. I know Mayor, he was not expecting Rangers to be here tonight. In fact, I wasn't either. I just learned tonight that his plans got canceled, so he is here. So we'll see what happens with that, and will Mayor be able to get the win tonight, or will it be Rangers or someone new? Savage says, I got a reading today, and so that's cool. I have negative energy that I should let go. Something is keeping me down. Sorry to hear that, though. My goodness. Hopefully you get that figured out. I hate to hear it. Culture off into the grass here, but he is on top of the board in the speed charts with a 107.7. Lucky sevens right there. Mayor of Bag City. He's out here in second with a 107.8. Currently sitting on pit lane. J-Mac Attack in third with a 108.3, and not too far behind is going to be Hawk. He's got a 108.393. So some very close times here. We have Hokey Fan, who has joined back in the session, and I would love to know who number 8 is. I cannot figure it out yet.
It's mystery solved. It's Dion.
It's Dion, our host.
Yeah.
The league owner. He is invisible tonight, apparently. Unfortunate. Hopefully that gets fixed. His car is not even appearing as he is on pit lane, so yeah.
He has come out on track once, so he is in. It's just his name doesn't come up weighty enough.
That's crazy. All right, Dion the Invisible. So hopefully we'll see him moving up through the field. Currently sitting P8. He does not have a time yet, along with Rangers, Jacob, and Justin.
JC just finished his first lap, getting a 108.3, put him in 5th place.
Yeah, JC with a good time there. A lot of 108.2s and 3s. We just got Justin on the board with a 108.239. Hawk with a 0.289. J-Mac Attack with a 0.309. JC with a 0.358. So I think 3rd through 7th. We're going to see a lot of racing between these drivers out on track. We've seen it all season. I've said it every race. When they qualify this close together, we're going to see them close out on track. I'm curious though, David. We had a perfect race last week. No safety cars whatsoever. Do you think we're going to see that here tonight? It's an easy enough track, I think.
It's an easy enough track, but it's also a very compact track. And because of how quick it is, I don't see anybody giving anybody any room. So I would see this will be very wheel-to-wheel action, and you probably come out there, as I say that. I would expect some incidents to happen. Probably not safety car, like full safety cars, but
yeah.
But I guess I don't see anybody giving anybody any I don't know if that's the word.
Any leeway?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, I think elbows out, or I think the race tonight is going to see elbows out. This is the finale. Everyone is going for that final win here. So I think we're going to see a lot of hard racing. So yeah, I mean, thinking about it that way, I would not be surprised if we see a caution in these sectors, but hopefully no safety cars. I don't want to see anyone taken out. We'll see what happens here, but we have Panda joining us tonight, and you can see these guys really getting close to those outer boundaries on the track. So that's going to be interesting to see what they do during the race. It's going to be very close, but Culture still out there. He's got a 107.7, and I've been pretty impressed with him this season. Really fast times. He's got some wins out here. I know he is hoping to grab another one tonight.
I'd say that's something you always need to keep an eye on, those track limits, because a couple of drivers may think they're overly strict, because it seems like even half a wheel over is enough to get warnings. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. You know, this track, we're driving on board with Culture, and it is not very wide. So these drivers, they were talking about, how am I going to pass here? Like, where's the best section to pass here? And I think you're going to have to use those DRS zones, trying to pass it on the straightaways possibly, and going into a corner maybe if you get right underneath them. But those parts are going to see a little bit of aggression out here. Culture into the grass, and like I said, not a very wide track. So I think we're going to see some tricky spots for these drivers. Mayor of Bag City goes up to first. He's got a 107.486. That's going to put Culture in second with a 107.7. We have just over 7 minutes in qualifying left. Leaf Justin is going to be out here third fastest so far. The only drivers who have not done a lap yet is going to be Dion and Rangers. So I'm curious what Rangers is putting in there, what Dion is putting under the hood here for a setup, and what they're going to get once they go out. It's going to be very interesting to see those times.
I was gonna say, just to say how close things are right now, top 7 is within a second.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Right after that, not that far behind them.
Very, very close. And we did not see that close of times in practice. I mean, we saw a good 3 to 4 second gap out there. So to see our top 7 drivers within a second, pretty phenomenal. And I think we're going to see a very racy round tonight. So Brazil looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of speed out here to be had. And then like I said, you got that tricky technical section 6, 7, and 8, I do believe, for the turns. That could bring some issues for these drivers, so we'll see what happens there. I'm going to double check my turns here. It's going to be 7, 8, and 9, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, looking really solid out there so far. Only 2 drivers in the 107. I'm curious with Justin with the 108.2. Will we see him try to make another lap and get out in the 107s? All right, David, I want to talk about driver standings. This is what it is so far. We have Rangers out here with 301 points. Whether he wins this or not, I mean, he could not even show up today. He still has the championship in the bag. That is done. Now, the winner, we're going to see who can get that tonight. Mayor of Bag City, he's in second in the standings with 270. We have JDM Culture in third with 164, and JDM Hawk in fourth with 150. Leaf Justin, he's going to round out the top 5 with 147 points. And Jacob, he's 6th, looking in on the top 5 with 114 points. And with those constructor standings, we have Ferrari 384 points. So that is still up for grabs out here. We have Mercedes in second with 370 points, 14 points behind our leader. So anything can happen with that tonight. I know Ferrari is concerned with keeping that. They want to keep those constructor standings championship points.
Saying, just as you were going through that, JC just moved up to third place with a 108.1.
Take a look. Yeah, he got a 108.1, and Justin is going to be right behind him still with that 108.239. Jacob, 1,000th of a second off with a 108.240. So extremely close. Again, going to be a really fun race. We have 12 drivers slated to grid tonight. 4 minutes left in qualifying. Still a little bit of time, but Rangers still not out there. I'm curious, David, do you think he's going to start in the back?
I would say, actually, looking at like the position he's in, and actually, I was about to say, look at the standings. There's 3 storylines that I see coming out of. I'll say it in a minute, but one of them is being Rangers. Because he's won the championship already, because he got sealed up, what's the mindset going to be him going in? Is he going to be as aggressive in the previous races and try to get the win? Or is he going to have to be like a victory 38 laps? It's like, soak it in. It's like, yeah, I'm champion. Let's see what he can do. I'm not getting a lap in just yet, and just checking, he's still in the pits. He might just want to sit. It may be a case of it could also be a case he want to challenge himself. Stay in the back of the pack, maybe try to stay out of trouble in the first lap and see how far can he be able to push himself through, knowing the pressure's off. He doesn't need the win, he doesn't need the points, he's got the title in the bag. Maybe it's like another way to challenge himself in the final race.
You have a great point. It could be that he wants to challenge himself, start in the back of the pack here, or it could be simply he knows he doesn't need a win. He's just here for fun. So we'll see what he does out there. If he makes a lap still on pit lane, it's going to be close, but Justin moves up to a 108.156. very, very close to JC, who is a 108.153. I don't think this competition could get any closer, David.
Oh, no, I can't. I will actually say, going those are the other 2 points I kind of want to basically myself. The constructors, that's like how aggressive Ferrari and Mercedes. I would say how aggressive Mercedes is gonna get to try to get those extra points, and also looking at the standings, the JDM war. Culture and Hawk are 14 points ahead of each other, apart from each other. Could we see like a bit of bragging rights between the 2 of them? See if the other ones can be. It's possible. Hawkwood needs a very good performance, I believe, at least a podium, but it can still be done. So
we're gonna see. Yeah, a lot of stories for tonight heading into the Brazilian Grand Prix. Just over a minute left in qualifying, but yeah, you know, we speak of the constructor standings and how close that is, and the championship for the constructor standings is still up for grabs. In that case, I am surprised that Rangers has not put down a lap. So one, he is either not concerned about winning that for the constructor standings, or 2, he's not concerned that he won't be able to make it up there and make it happen. So yeah, a couple of stories out here on track that we'll have to look at tonight and keep track of. But man, oh man, gonna be a wild one, and I can't wait for it. David, I have to ask you, I know this says that the qualifying, this is the short version. How long is a long session for qualifying? Like, this is the longest qualifying I have ever seen.
Well, the current qualifying format is actually in 3 stages, and I can't think of the exact times right now, but basically it goes in 3 stages. The first stage is all 20 cars. They go out on track and try to get the fastest lap, and basically after I think 20 minutes, let's just say 20 minutes, the 6 slowest cars get eliminated. So then after that, the remaining 15 cars, they go a second session for like another 15 minutes, and there goes my things, and fresh slate of times, they go out again, and then it's the top 10 cars of that qualify for Q3, the final session, and then those are the 10 that are locked in for the top 10. Then it's decide what's the order for those final 10. So the proper qualifying session could take around about an hour to whittle that field down.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yep.
And speaking of impressive, take a look. Mayor of Bag City, he's got a 107.4. We have 4 drivers in the 107s now. JDM Culture, a 107.641. JDM Hawk with those 3 7s, 777s. Hopefully that brings him some luck. At 107.772. And Jacob, he's got a 107.9. So, man, oh man, these guys are putting down some times. We have just a tiny bit remaining to get these guys final lap in. Rangers never did make a lap. Dion, who is invisible on our screen, he never made his lap. So these drivers will be starting from the back. All right, and here's the grid starting off. Mayor of Bag City going to be on pole with a 107.4. Culture in second. JDM Hawk in third. And Jacob's going to round out the 107s with a 0.93 out of 3.8. JC in fifth. Justin in sixth. J-Mac in 7th, Bloomy in 8th, Pokey Fan in 9th, Panda 10th, Dion's going to be 11th, and Rangers will be starting from the rear of the field in 12th. Any final thoughts before we head to the formation lap, David?
Top 9, all within a second. That goes to show you how close everything is. Even though it's a 110 track, we have everybody by a second. Within a second like that, it makes things pretty exciting coming into the race, as Jacob just left, which is unfortunate. Hopefully he gets it on time.
Absolutely.
Hockey's gone too. Oh no.
This is, you know, we've had a lot of these issues lately. Drivers just getting out and they have to all get back in. So hopefully we can get all of them in. It's kicked me out.
Well,
they
are locked in. They are locked into the session, so I think they should be all right coming in.
Right.
Though, unfortunately, if they're not on the grid, they can't make their strategies, which might be an issue.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I know several drivers had issues even connecting tonight. Jacob has joined. I'm assuming we're going to see several other drivers join back in. You can see these guys getting ready to make their formation lap. You can see the 1-stop strategy and the 2-stop strategy here tonight. Lap 11 to 16, so we'll see what happens. But Jacob loses connection again. Man. Mayor's going to lead us off. Rangers in the back. We have constructor standings up for grabs. A race win up for grabs. We're going to see how it all unfolds here tonight. Take a look at these drivers as they are warming up those tires. Trying to get all the grip out of them that they can before we start here. Speaking of that, let's see what these guys started out on. Most of them on softs except for Dion and Rangers. They're going to start out on the mediums out here. Those drivers will be having a 2-stopper. We'll see what Dion and Rangers chooses to do. It'll be interesting to see that strategy play out. Panda disqualified from the session. Dion disqualified. I am not sure. Man, what a night tonight. Twitch having issues. F1 having issues. Man, so unfortunate. It was great to have Panda out here.
It looks like Panda and Dion did not go off the starting grid. So
interesting.
They're disqualified for not starting.
We'll see how this plays out with being disqualified. There's no way back in, correct?
They're disqualified. They're out of the race.
Yeah. Unfortunate. I know Panda was looking forward to starting here tonight. Let's go up to Mayor as these guys wait for the lights to go out here tonight at the Brazilian Grand Prix, the season finale race. 16 rounds have come down to this. All right, and the lights are out at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Let's get this started. Mayor of Bag City with a fantastic start, going too wide already into the corner. We're going to see if we lose anybody, but Culture in second, Hawk in third. We do have a caution in Sector 1. I'm not sure who that is.
He seems to slow down. He's not moving. He just pulled off to the side of the track at the start. He's not going fast at all.
Man, oh man, yeah, issues for Hokie in the first sector out here right after the start, slowly moving. Let's take a look at him. Carefully moving around the track, but these top three are leaving the second group here. These guys are putting a gap over them. That's going to be Mayor, Culture, and Hawk. Jacob is going to lead this second group out here. Hokie already a DNF for the night. Single file line for the rest of these drivers.
Also looks like those the DQs have been rescinded. Panda and Dion are on track and racing.
Yeah, I noticed that fixed itself. I don't know what's going on tonight. Just so many different things happening. I'm glad they're back though. You'll love to see that they're back. So off we go. Fastest lap is going to be a 1:14.4 from Mayor of Bag City. Lap 2 is underway, and let's go back up to Mayor and see how he's doing. About a 0.5 second gap between him and Culture.
JC going wide in the first corner, basically overshooting it, and lost for a couple of places. I'm 7th now.
Rangers going side by side with Jacob, trying to go already into P5 spot. Man, he is already making some moves. We have a driver off the track. That's going to be Leaf Justin as he goes hard into the grass, right into JC. Wow. What just happened with that? That is crazy.
JC taken out. Jacob got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting there. He looks... J-Hawk Talk's gone. Oh my, we're in big trouble here.
Huge chaos for all of these drivers. You know what? I'm kind of curious. Safety car is out, but man, at this point, after lap 2,
all 5 drivers left. I don't know what happened there.
I have a feeling they're going to try to restart the race. There's so many issues that are happening right now. I would not be surprised if we get an invite in a second. That's incredible. Literally 4 drivers remaining in this race.
It does make me wish they were in the looks like they're gonna restart it.
Yeah.
It makes me wish they were in the party lobby to Justin's saying we have to restart.
Yep. That was the craziest start I have ever seen. Just so many issues between Twitch, F1, and everything else. I don't even know what to think about that one. That's crazy.
I can't say I've seen that one before.
Racer, how are you? Hope you're doing well.
Can we get somebody? Can we get one of the drivers into this chat to see what happens?
Justin says lobby issues, so we are redoing it. Yeah, there's so many lobby issues tonight.
We did see that we had 3 drivers disconnect into the game. We had the Panda and Dion. He got disqualified for not moving, and then they're in the race.
Did you just get an invite? If not, I will send you one when I get in there.
Panda going race over cannot even one. I hope not.
Yeah, so unfortunate. We'll get this restarted though. Those drivers, so many were not able to connect, and once we got in there, a lost connection, and then absolute carnage after that.
Technology, it's great until it doesn't work.
You gotta love it. All right.
Yep.
Still having issues. Let's see if we can join off of Jordan. I got the invite, but it would not let me in there. Okay. It's letting me in now. I will invite you. Here you go.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, guys. This is absolutely wild. Just, huge carnage in that last part.
This will answer the question for me. What happens if you have to rearrange everybody for a restart?
Grid
order.
I don't know. It shows that it's 1 shot and 14 laps, so it looks like they have shortened the race.
Well, it's set on Bahrain, so the race needs to be set up.
Oh well, yeah, that'll do it.
I believe it may be probably be an organized 1 shot. What the grid was, so basically, you go first, you go second, you go third, you go fourth.
Okay. We'll see how he chooses.
Gonna happen. We haven't actually seen it done in practice yet.
Yeah. You just got to Daytona. You're ready for some NASCAR. Oh man, that is so awesome. Have all of the fun. I know you're gonna have a lot of memories. You're so used to doing all this, so yeah, I know you're ready for it. Panda, you better be out there as a driver. I hope you're out there. I don't see you yet, but I'm expecting you to join soon. All right, still shows Bahrain. Hopefully we don't have to do a full qualifying again. 36 lap race on the board for tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to see Dion. He was the invisible driver of the race, so it will be good if we can get him in there. Looks like they took qualifying off. We already had qualifying up, so we'll see how that lines them up, if they're gonna line them up, or just say, let's go.
Yeah. trying to remember if there actually is a way to manually set the grid or not.
I don't know. As we said, a fast track. It's got a technical section to it in Sector 2. But yeah, I feel like this is one of those tracks that are a lot of fun. But it's not very wide, so the drivers will have to be sure that they, you know, look out for who's around them. Be very aware of their surroundings, because they can easily go over the boundaries here into the grass. And we saw Justin, I assume that happened because they realized they were going to restart. We'll see. We have Panda back in. All right. 11 drivers. They are all here, I do believe. You can set the field how you want it in the setting. All right, Doug. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. Good. That's good to know.
Yeah, good to know. How are you tonight, Doug? Hope you're good. I'm tempted to get Skylin in here to have some fun in the booth with us.
I was gonna say, I love the season shenanigans, eh?
Hey. Rangers this season champion already. Literally here just for the fun of it. He was actually supposed to be gone and was supposed to miss tonight. Change of plans happened, and here he is. Gonna be out on the grid, chose not to qualify. Eating dinner. I hope it's something yummy. I have not had dinner yet. Please excuse the technical difficulties. As I said, yeah, Twitch issues. Could not go live for a few hours there. And then F1 just having all the issues lately. I don't know what the deal is. Hopefully the second time is the one that's gonna work here. I'm assuming he's probably lining everyone up. And if that's the case, Mayor will be on pole again. I'm trying to remember. Was it Culture who was in second? Or Jacob?
I see if I can look back and see that.
Four drivers in the 107, so it's going to be close. And I do believe it was almost the top 10, if not the top 10. All of those guys within a second in qualifying. Absolutely amazing. The clock is winding down now. 19 seconds to go. Ultra, I thought you were second. Thank you. Good luck tonight. We'll get that dub. Buffalo popcorn chicken salad. Okay. I am officially hungry here. Sounds pretty yummy. Lots of luck to the drivers out here. Hopefully everyone stays in. We can get a race in, and hopefully we have no invisible drivers.
I just got Hawk, Jacob, JC, Justin, JMac, Bloomy, Hokey, and the Dion Rangers. That was the grid for qualifying.
Nice. Well, there you have it. We'll see if they line up as such. If not, we'll have a whole different starting grid out here. Either way, it's going to be a fun race. Tell you what, F1 keeping things interesting. Doug, you're not going to rub it in with how good it is. Please don't. I'm already hungry, and that sounds so yummy.
He's not as bad as me. It made me hungry, but all the plays to be close because it's too late for me.
I know. What time is it for you? It's like
It's 20 to 2.
20 to 2? My goodness, David. Yeah, I forgot it gets, you know, that much of a time difference. That's crazy.
5 hours different to East Coast.
That is wild.
I'm used to it.
I don't know how, but I'm glad you're here for sure.
After missing the last month, can't be able to get the end of the season.
All right, they
so hopefully
do.
Hopefully we don't have any DQ drivers at the start, even though we. Oh no, okay, no mind. I thought Rangers were stuck on the track, the grid there for a second.
Yeah, everyone looks good so far. Hopefully we keep it that way, but these guys, formation lap, we have them in the correct order. Glad to see it, and we have no invisible drivers. So that is good news.
we don't have a driver with no name.
I know.
He has been named.
I know. Dion doing magical tricks tonight. We saw Rangers go all the way up to 5th. Pretty soon, within the first 2 laps, will we see that again? Dion gonna be in 11th, Panda in 10th. It's gonna be very close.
I will say, actually, I did see the pit strategies there. It said that 1 stop for softs and mediums, softs and hards, I should say. Part of me is wondering, with Dion Rangers starting with mediums, will they try to push it to 1 stop with those mediums? Can they be able to last them as long as they can? Or is 36 laps on softs and mediums just too much?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a couple of different strategies you can take, and I asked the drivers tonight, I'm like, what is the tire strategy for tonight? You could do 1 stop, you can do 2 stops, you can do 3 stops, or it may be more if you get a safety car. I'm like, well, it's very broad.
Knock on wood.
No safety cars tonight. Let's get this 36 laps on the road here. The Brazilian Grand Prix waiting for the lights to go out. Let's go on board with our pole sitter, Mayor of Bag City, who has several wins this season, looking to add another tonight. Hopefully a 5th one, and the lights are out here at the Brazilian Grand Prix for the 2nd time. Here we go already. Culture with an amazing start. He's going to back it up here, though. Side by side for the lead, and oh, Mayor off into the wall hard. His dreams of a win tonight are gone, and we have more chaos. Panda, he has retired. Mayor of Back City, he has retired. The virtual safety car is out tonight. I don't know what is happening, if it is a full moon. A terrible, terrible start for Mayor.
Mayor crashed down in turn 2. Panda looks like he crashed down just not too far after that.
Yeah, pure chaos.
Mayor missed. I think they both came off in the same corner. Mayor at the start of it, Panda at the end of it.
Culture is going to be our new leader out here with Hawk in 2nd. JC going to be in 3rd. Jacob in 4th. Justin out in the top 5. J-Mac Attack P6. In 7th, we have Bloomy, Hokey Fan in 8th. 9th, we have Rangers and Dion in 10th. And it looks like we are back to green here, David.
Yeah.
Culture off to a...
Hawk just get a big getaway at the start of that.
Hawk is all over him here, going on the inside, trying to make a pass for the lead. He's going to be able to do it. A huge power move on his end. Great job for him. Culture is going to be in 2nd. Hawk, our new leader. JC is about 1.5 seconds behind these two. Going a huge dance for the lead here. Hawk extending that curb out there. Culture directly behind him. You know he's going to try to take that back. On board with Culture, and Hawk is a little out ahead, about a 1/2 second. Racer X says Savage Racing at its best. Bare knuckle battles. Yeah, these guys. You know, when you have a start like this, 2 starts, I should say, it kind of rattles your cage a little bit. You have to kind of refocus yourself onto the track and onto the task at hand. We're on lap 2 of 36, and Hawk is looking very, very strong out here. These guys are putting almost a 2-second gap over third, David.
And I said earlier, the 3 storylines that had to come into this race, one of them being GTM battle. We've got them both 1 and 2 right now.
They are 1 and 2. JDM Hawk in first, Culture in second. These guys go way back. And a Culture all over the heels of Hawk here. Going into the corner, we'll see what he can do. About a half a second still. That kind of flutters around from just under to just over. JC is gonna fall back to about 2.5 seconds. So yeah, these guys are starting to get away, but JC under attack by Jacob. We'll see what happens with that. Justin directly behind him, so this is gonna be the battle for third. We'll see if Jacob can make a move. Remember, guys, this track is very narrow, comparatively speaking, to other tracks. So we'll see what they can do out here, but it is tight. Quarter racing out here, in here, and they have 2 wide. Justin getting loose, almost heads into the wall. Extremely close. Man, oh man, Jacob makes a pass for P3, JC in 4th. A lot going on here, David.
Very much so. And also, another thing that's going on, Rain's already up to 7th place. He's already powering through the grid already, starting at the back of the pack, and he's already mid-pack right now. Was charging towards AMAP. There was a 2.5 second lead, pulled it back to 1.5, and now it's stalled a little bit. But even on mediums, being this quick going through the pack is pretty remarkable.
Absolutely. Yeah, these guys are doing a phenomenal job out here. J-Mac Attack we're on board with. P6 at the moment, and you can see him directly behind these drivers. All of these guys just so incredibly close. Now that Jacob has made his way past JC, he is off and running, putting a little bit of a gap between these drivers. Justin is going to be directly on the heels of JC, so he is yet again under attack. We'll see how he can defend that, but yeah, we're going to see more battles coming up here shortly. Justin passes JC going into the corner here. Great job on his end. Panda leaves the session. Mayor out. So unfortunate to see. Yeah, Skyland says, poor Tim. Hell of a way to end the season. I'm heartbroken for him. This is not what he wants to see. Absolutely. He has had such a remarkable season, going for win, I do believe, number 5 here tonight. Unfortunately, he's not going to have the chance. Skyline, if you want to come in the booth, let me know. I'd be happy to get you in here. All 3 of us can, you know, have some fun in this race. Let's go up to Hawk.
I don't know if we're gonna have any more fun to the drivers right now. This basically it's a race and a half they're going through tonight.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be a long night for these drivers. JDM Hawk still looking very, very strong, just over a half a second lead over Culture. Man, quickly decreasing that. So
taking the move on the straight here to get the 5th place.
Take a look at these two.
It's like I had to pull back a little bit. He's still got 5th place. But Rangers right behind J-Mac there. He's charging through the field now. He's peeking. Making the move. He takes 5th. Ooh, he takes 5th place. Actually missed what happened to JC. He's behind him now.
JC is behind him, but these guys, we saw it in qualifying. We knew this was going to be a close race. And that is indeed the case here. Man, oh man, look at JC really singing it into the corner. Almost some contact with J-Mac, is able to hold it off here, but in chat we do have a very unhappy mayor of Bag City. So unfortunate. Rangers making his way to 6. Man, JC just falling hard.
Contact Rangers there.
Absolutely crazy.
Might have been a little bit then was front window.
Skyland, yeah, I can totally get you in. Hopefully I can find you real quick. Don't mind me. Listen, you know, think of some
You should
Skyland.
start taking Jacob that take third place.
Skyland, if you can join off of me or join off of David, join off of one of us. I don't see you.
I see. Let me see if I can get an invite up.
Hawk's still in the lead there, but I'll tell you what. Culture is kind of winding that down a little bit. Justin is up to third, Jacob in fourth, J Mac Attack in fifth. Rangers in sixth, and these guys, not a lot of distance between any of these drivers, extremely close. Bloomy, we haven't really talked about him tonight. He is sitting P8, about 3 seconds behind JC, and you can see he's got his eyes set on him up ahead. Dion in 9th and Hokie Fan in 10th. As you guys saw, Mayor of Bag City, he started on pole. An unfortunate end to his night very, very early on. I know he was really looking forward to this race, and a lot of talent. A lot of talent for him. Hoping to grab another win, but Hawk is out here in the lead. Still taking this. Culture in second. 0.3 behind. Skyland, if you can join off of David, if you're friends with him, or you can search him. I know I'm offline. I tried to find you. I don't see you on. Or go on, and I'll try to get you. Yeah, I just don't see you. Culture going for the lead here on the outside. Not able to complete the pass. Very, very strong effort.
Yep.
We lost David. We're gonna see him try that again. We have 2 spots that we have a DRS zone in, and I know that he used every piece of that through that straightaway. Trying to make a pass, but on the outside, so extremely hard. And as I mentioned, this track is very, very narrow. Makes it extremely difficult to try to make a pass here. Jacob almost 4 seconds back. So yeah, these two have definitely gotten away. They are on the run, and Hawk now. I don't know if Culture used up a little bit of what he had, but he's got that gap increasing a little bit. Take a look at how close they're taking these boundaries. He's got to be using that DRS again. Trying to get closer to Hawk. 2 JDM drivers. Skyland, I know David sent you an invite. Hopefully you got it.
I got it. Yep, sorry.
Hopefully Skyland was able to get your invite.
I got one. Actually, I think the problem is I connected to the party chat on my PC, but I sent an invite on my Xbox, and somehow sending that invite on my Xbox disconnected me from on the PC. So,
oh jeez. Sky, I see you in the booth. Welcome to the booth. How are you? We don't have him on the line yet, but man, let's go back through the field here. Jacob in third. Rangers has moved up to fourth. How about that? Moving through the field, and J-Mac gonna round out the top 5.
Actually, just going into the other storyline with the Constructors Championship right now, we have Ferrari 3rd and Mercedes 4th and 5th. That would mean that Ferrari have 15 points, Mercedes would have 22. It would not be enough though. It would be 7-point gap for Mercedes ahead, but they're 14 in the Constructors, so you're gonna need a little bit more room to get the Constructors win here.
Wow.
If things stand as they are.
It's gonna be close. Skyland, are you with us? Not yet. We'll see if we can't get him, but how about this? Culture on the heels of Hawk once again. He's tried to make a couple of passes, went side by side with him, but unable to take that lead back just yet. We'll see if he can't. Dion with the first time penalty up here. J-Mac attack with the time penalty. Bloomy has already had one pit stop. Hokie fan, a pit stop. Very, very tight racing for these drivers. Rangers and J-Mac. An equal gap between these guys. Lap 11 of 36. Still quite a while to go here. A crazy start for our season finale. Man, oh man. Tough race for some of these drivers. Jacob is on pit lane. We see him making his first stop. Justin, JC, all on pit lane.
Sorry about the delay, Frozen. I am here.
Hey.
Welcome.
How's it going, David?
It goes with the theme of the night. Technical difficulties everywhere.
Yeah. Full moon. I don't know.
Does we see Coulter getting time penalty there?
All right, Skyland. So what do you think about the constructor standings, the chaos that has ensued on both
I think
starts?
things changed. I think Justin just spun on pit exit.
Let's go back to Justin.
He looks to be all right here. He's rolling out, but I think he had some trouble coming out.
Yeah, if he had trouble coming out, he is off and running still.
I saw him spin. I'm not sure if he got any damage. He just ran wide, which suggests that maybe he has front wing damage.
Let me just take a look and see if there's anything visible. Maybe not. It comes round.
Yeah, I don't see the side
actually,
wing.
We'll say the standings right now, with Jacob going down to 5th place, that would now mean that Mercedes are in the driver's seat. They are currently ahead on the constructors' standings, with Rangers 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, Mercedes 3rd and 4th, Ferrari in 5th. Man, just I can't say enough how unfortunate it is for this start here tonight for Mayor of Bag City. Not only that, but the Ferrari team is going to affect the constructor standings.
Pit, so he must have gotten damage. He's coming back in.
Yeah, Justin on pit road. I did see a little bit of wing damage for him, so we'll see him get that repaired after some tough times coming off of pit lane, as Sky said.
Yeah, and he was already down to 9th just trying to recover from the pit road spin itself, so this probably takes him completely out of contention, unfortunately.
We do have some mixed tires out here. We have our top 2 on the softs. Rangers, who is now currently sitting P3. He's on those mediums. J-Mac attack on softs along with Jacob. 6th, 7th, and 8th are going to be on mediums, and then Hokie Fan and Leaf Justin, who is trying to get out as fast as he can. Both of these guys are currently sitting on soft tires.
Take a look at actually Hawk and Coach up in 1st and 2nd, 13 laps on the softs. It does go back, maybe wonder how much longer do they dare stay out on the softs, and if they stay long enough, will they dare go on mediums for the 2nd stint and try to make it a one-stop race or not?
Yeah, a little bit of strategy in play here. Justin has had 2 stops so far. A couple of drivers haven't had any, and that's going to be our top 3 or 4 drivers. It looks like the top 4. So we'll see what kind of strategy they play, but being on different tires, it's going to be very interesting. Sky, if you were these drivers, if you're the top 2, when are you going in? No pressure.
I think it depends on how the track feels. This is going to be one of those races where if tires start to go away and the
they're
car
already on
to keep going,
yeah,
then you can't put yourself in that position for too long at the end of the season and just waiting for the car to try and bite you and spin you out.
Absolutely. And our top 2 drivers already answered that question as they are on their way out from pit lane. Rangers goes up to the lead. J-Mac follows, and he's going to be in 2nd. So we do have Mercedes out front. Jacob, who's representing Ferrari, is going to be in 5th.
Interesting choices in tires. Hog side goes on mediums, Coulter goes on softs. So I was saying they were gonna go in the same time. They're gonna go similar strategies, but they're going on different tires now. So we shall see.
Yeah.
Culture looks like if he's going back on soft, he may be going for a 2-stopper. Let's see if Hawk tries to make a stop on the medium zone now.
Lap 15 of 36. Will the mediums be able to make it that long? It's gonna be interesting.
It's definitely gonna be pushing it. It's a gamble if you want to stay out there for another 20 laps.
Rangers and J-Mac, they are going for another strategy, trying to make this only a 1-stopper, I do believe it from what it looks like. But J-Mac, he's on the soft tires already, 15-lap-old tires. Rangers out there on the medium, so another teammate that are out on different ones.
Coulter, it looked like Coulter was going. Oh no! Coulter It looked like he was going too fast on Hawk. It looked like he collided with Clark in the front and got some front wing damage. So the gamble may not have worked out. Going too fast and moving too late on the overtake. And just collided with him.
Yep, he just went wide in the corner again, just like when Justin had his wing damage. So I think probably a good assessment there, and a time penalty for Hawk.
Yeah, 3-second time penalty for Hawk. Culture having some issues out here. A little bit of a touch from Jacob with Culture, so hopefully that doesn't cause any damage for these two drivers. But man, oh man, a lot of movement throughout the field. Dion up to 7th, Bloomy in 8th, Hokie in 9th, Justin in 10th. But how about Rangers going from the back, not qualifying, and he's finding himself in the lead as these two drivers, 1-2, have yet to pit.
Culture down pit road, and that actually will affect the Constructors' Championship as well, because that moves Jacob up the order.
Well, actually, as of right now, it is a Mercedes 1-2. Regardless of what happens on the rest of the pack, if it's a 1-2 Mercedes, they will take Constructors.
Some new parts for him as he is on his way out. Rangers and J-Mac, I'm just really surprised that they're staying out here this long and that their handling is okay. So we've had a couple of drivers with issues have to make some uncalled for stops out here. Culture coming out, Hokie fan coming out. Man, this race, all these races seem to have gotten very interesting, and this race switching things up a little bit. How much longer do you think these guys can stay out for Rangers and J-Max, Guy?
I don't know about how long they can stay out, but they only need to stay out one more lap, and then they'll be halfway on tires that they qualified on. So they only need one more lap, and interestingly, one's on medium, one's on softs, which means when Rangers switches to softs, we know he can go this distance because J-Mac is doing it right now.
Absolutely. It also depends on how they're driving it, though. So if Rangers drives a little bit harder, we'll see how he can handle that. But he's got to take it a little bit easier, I think, on those soft tires when they go in to switch that.
It's also a case that with J-Max already on his first stint, 17 laps on softs, he knows that when he switched on mediums, he does not have to play it safe with tires because he's already done a half a race on softs. Mediums can be able to take it. Rangers, it's the other way around. That he has, if in his mindset, normal mindset would be you may have to play it safe on softs and the second stint still has to long. With Rangers, maybe not so much.
We'll see how it plays out. They are going to have to switch. I know, Racer, I tend to say things a lot. Everyone always jokes around with my words of the season. And apparently tonight's is going to be interesting. J-Mac on to pit lane. You saw he was on the softs. What happened, guys?
A 5-second penalty for J-Mac.
Got a 5-second fine penalty for speeding coming in.
Ah, man, that is really going to affect his race out here. Jacob now goes out in front of him as he is on his way out. We'll see how that affects his race, but 5-second penalty is kind of big, guys. That will affect the constructor standings. Make it a little bit closer here.
Trying to do the live math here.
Rangers still out and running. Lap 19 of 36.
Look at that right now. As it stands right now, Ferrari's ahead by 2 points.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. I want to know who this is that is going through Kerr's car. That's going to be Hokie Fan. Rangers makes his way on the pit lane, absolutely flying in. Hopefully we don't see a 5-second penalty from him. He makes it on. It looks relatively safely.
Not, but he is safe.
Hawk out here in second.
Rangers just went to pit road, but Dion is also on the same strategy and has been benefiting from all of these mishaps that have been happening to the other drivers. He's up to 6th.
Yeah, he has not pit yet, you guys. He is up to 6th, as Skyland says. Chooses to stay out once again at lap 20 of 36. Let's take a look at what tire he is on. He's going to be on the medium, so he is really going for this one stop here tonight. We'll see how the strategy plays out. I would love to see him in the booth after the race. We'll see. Tom Flitty says, I hope Kerr wrecks. Tom, you're terrible.
I was gonna say, sometimes the best strategy in these races is just to stay out of trouble and just let all the cars happen around you. Right now, that's benefiting Dion right now. He still needs to pit though, and he's on 19 lap old tires. So
that is some old tires. You know he's feeling it. Most of these drivers with one stop. Culture, Justin, and Hokie Fan. 2 stops. So unfortunate for Culture tonight. Extremely, extremely strong showing. Strong start. Hawk's still up here though. He is out here in the lead, just doing a phenomenal job leading the group. We have Jacob, who is about 2.5 seconds behind Hawk, and Rangers, who we did see in the lead. He is now out here almost 4 seconds behind, sitting P3.
Yeah, my concern for Jacob is he's going to have to come in and pit one more time. And it looks like Rangers lost 20 seconds on his pit stop. Jacob, including J-Mac's time penalty, is about 18 seconds ahead of J-Mac. I think he needs to get enough time between him and J-Mac so that when he comes off of pit road with fresh tires, he is clear of him.
Wow. You hear it, guys. It is going to come down to the wire here. Very, very close. Holzero, how are you? Mike, thank you. I appreciate it. Mayor says the title race is over. Mercedes are done with their stops. Jacob needs one more. It's tough. It was a tough night. It started out a lot of chaos. Yeah, the constructors standings.
yeah, constructors are still alive. It's as of right now, going back to the constructor standings, it's before this race there was a 14-point gap between Ferrari and Mercedes, Ferrari being in the lead. Right now, as it stands, it'll be a 5-point differential in Mercedes' favor, but that will not be enough to take them for the constructors. So it's either Jacob needs to come down or the Mercedes need to push up.
Did Tim win the pole? That means they should be 15 points up if he did.
Tim did get the pole, yes. That's going to be Mayor of Bag City, who, yeah, unfortunate start for him. Jacob having a heck of a run tonight, though. Doing a great job for Ferrari.
Please excuse me not including that in my calculations.
Rangers now up to P2 out here, making a pass for it. Jacob down to P3. J-Mac is sitting in between. J-Mac is going to be the end of the sandwich. Jacob in a Mercedes sandwich. Culture retires from the session. DNF for him, man. So many heartbreaking stories out here tonight. Safety car is out.
Full safety
Lap
car.
23 of 36. This is going to change things a lot, you guys.
This is going to negate the advantage that Rangers had built from his strategy and reset Jacob back to being in line with everybody else on fresher tires.
Mayor is saying that there is no points for pole.
There is no points for pole.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It's the lower kind of like Formula 2 and Formula 3 that do give out points for pole. In this, actually no, in Formula 1 IRL, actually no.
My memory is probably
sprints,
going through
the
something
sprints
I
do
thought
get
I
points.
heard a really long time ago. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, sorry. Formula 1 do not give points for poles.
Hawk, Rangers, Jacob, all on pit lane, Justin, Hokie fan, all on pit lane, J-Mac Attack, JC, Bloomy, Dion. Yeah, not out just yet. We're gonna see if J-Mac. Yeah, he goes on to pit lane.
Reset their stuff. J-Mac's gonna lose an extra 5 seconds on pit lane by negating the penalty he picked up, which might lose him an extra spot, but will definitely make his life easier on this restart.
Culture.
was served the time penalty just now, so that may take off some of the time calculated at the end, so you just served it now.
Yeah, that whole penalty is going to be wiped, and the whole field is on softs. This is gonna be
fun.
Chaos. Chaos is gonna happen. I guarantee tonight has been made out of chaos. It's been crazy. Culture, what happened with you? I'm heartbroken for all these guys. Oh man. It's terrible. Hawk is gonna be leading us off though. Rangers is going to be right there next to him.
I was gonna say that actually gets rid of one of my storylines for the race, because now Hawk, all Hawk needs to do is get a podium to win the JDM battle here.
All right. Safety car is still out. We are waiting for that to go in. Still lap 24 of 36. These guys will get caught up to each other. And elbows out. Elbows are going to be out once we head to green. JDM Culture says, lost it before the straight. Oversteer. Culture. No. No. We need a rewind button for ya.
Does look like we may have a 9 or 10 lap shootout here to end the season. For the final race.
16
All right,
rounds.
What do you guys think? Do all 9 cars make it to the end of this race? Does everybody survive this restart?
More questions should be, do all 9 cars survive the first half of the lap?
Yeah, you know, with the carnage that we've seen so far in these first 2 starts of these races, there's a lot of pressure for a lot of these guys wanting to get this final win, and Rangers is out there. I know he doesn't even have to be out there, but man, you know he wants another win. With elbows being out, I think we're gonna have some casualties, to be honest. I think we're gonna see something crazy happen. The track is not wide enough to be to hold all this aggressive driving. So yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna see something.
Also, we have a Ferrari being sandwiched between 2 Mercedes right now, so...
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if Jacob can find a way to win this, or at least keep the Mercedes behind him, I don't think that they can beat Ferrari for the championship.
Right now, it would be with Mercedes 2-4 and Ferrari 3. Ferrari would be ahead by 2 points. So, it's, yeah. I'm trying to work this out here. 40. So, if Mercedes finish one, at least if there's 2 Mercedes in the podium and Jacob finishes 4th or below, that's Mercedes with the title. So if J-Mac 42.
Do we
so
use
if
the exact same
J-Mac
point system as
Jacob,
F1?
that'll
I
be
don't
enough.
actually know.
Sorry?
Is the point system the exact same as F1? I don't actually know.
It is. I believe so. Yeah, 25 for first, 18 for second, 15 for third, 12 for fourth.
It shows how much attention I pay to the point.
Okay, I'm looking over here. If J-Mac overtakes Jacob, that would put Mercedes in the lead by 1 point.
Racer says we are leaning towards nope, not a chance. Tom rooting for J-Mac out there is currently P4, and the biggest mover of the race is going to be Rangers. He started off dead last, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the last, and up he is, up in second. So, man, oh man. Great job out here tonight. The safety car, I would imagine, will be coming to an end this time around. We'll be back to racing a lap 27 of 36. Elbows out, you guys. Narrow track. Let me know what you think in chat. I think we're going to see some casualties. I don't want to, though. I want everyone to make it through. I want to see it. I want to see it play out.
End the season on a bang.
Oh, it'll end in a bang one way or another.
Safety car's coming in.
Oh my gosh.
Bang
Safety
of
car
champagne or
and...
bang of a crash.
And it's all up to Hawk now, so ooh, this is gonna be good.
Hawk anticipating that start along with 11, well, now 8 other drivers. We'll see.
I think Tom is just hoping that Kerr goes bang by the looks of it.
He's rooted for his demise a couple of times, and off we go. Hawk is out in the lead. Rangers right behind. Single file all the way through. Take a look at this shot. Man, these drivers are off and running through the corner. A driver takes it a little wide. It looks like he's still okay. Driver takes it through the sand. Man. Side by side for P6. Bloomy trying to take over P6. Does a great job passing into the corner. He goes. JC's going to fall back. These guys are teammates right now for AlphaTauri. A little bit of competition for this final race here.
Justin made some moves. He's up to 5th.
You saw him with trouble earlier on, but Justin up to 5th. And Mike, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing good. Hawk still leading the group.
Jacob is going to be rooting for Justin to do well, because if he pushes J-Mac back another spot, that is helping Ferrari.
Absolutely. Good point out here. Hawk is about to be under attack, though, from Rangers. He is chasing that rabbit and getting ever so close. We're going into the fourth corner here in Sector 1. What do you see, Sky? I thought I heard some...
No, it was just me. I did a bit of miscalculation. As it stands right now, it will be Mercedes by a point.
This is crazy, you guys. The constructor standings, still a battle ensues. The championship has been won by Rangers as of last week. He's just going for the cherry on top tonight, trying to get the win here. Directly behind Hawk, putting the pressure on. What's Hawk gonna do? Is he gonna be able to defend that position? He's doing a fantastic job tonight, but man, we still have a lot of laps left, and anything, as you can tell so far, anything can happen.
And also, also a little bit of detail is DRS is not on yet, so
it takes
at this race when
That's
the DRS
why
comes
he's
in.
still behind him.
Yeah, it takes 2 laps.
Yeah, because under the safety car, DRS does not open until 3 laps in.
And here we go, side by side for the lead. Rangers is going to take over the lead heading into the first corner. Hawk is trying to do anything he can to get it back. Unable to yet. He's going to have to wait for another straightaway. Hopefully he will be able to use that DRS, but that puts Rangers up 11 positions from where he started.
Top 4 all in DRS range right now.
Mayor, I am not sure if Jacob has ran anything other than soft. I mean, he has to. You know, you guys know the rules. You got to run 2 different tire compounds, so I would assume he has.
Rangers, the question was about?
Yeah, it was Jacob. He says Jacob, but Rangers is a Jacob. Rangers has run different tires, so...
I believe he might have been on mediums before the safety car. So I believe he started on soft, switched to say medium, and then he's back on soft.
Actually, that is a very astute observation, Tim. I just checked the race director. No, Jacob has only run the race on softs.
Oh, yeah,
that is a very painful miscalculation.
Oh.
He's going to have to come in and switch to a different tire compound before the end of the race.
Wow. Just when you think...
He is actually right, yeah. Jacob has only run softs. He will be penalized if he does not change compounds. That could cost Ferrari the championship.
Well, see, I show him on medium, soft, and soft. That's what I show.
I looked at mine. It says soft.
Same for me, for Jacob.
See, and he was on different because he was on the opposite of Jordan. He was on the mediums and Jordan was on the soft. So I show he should be okay because I remember him being on the mediums.
I will look back and see.
Yeah, so no, your screen has it too. Jacob is all softs.
Wow.
I see it on the stream. Yeah.
I just got kicked out. So hold with me. We'll get back in. You know how the game likes to kick me out.
Okay, quick, David. Now you have to do a radio broadcast. Good luck.
All right, where are we?
Oh, he's talking about Jacob 99.
Jacob, yep. We saw it was soft with them.
Oh, okay. I was looking at Rangers.
Yep.
Okay, that's probably my fault. Sorry.
Yep.
I was like,
that's probably my fault for confusing you.
Yeah, I didn't look at Jacob, but apparently he has ran nothing but softs. All right, let's get back in the race. We're getting in.
I hope it's crew chief is telling him here, switch now. But
man, what a costly mistake for Jacob.
That could mean
especially because mediums might have worked here over a 10-lap run. He may have been able to just hang on until the softs went away and the mediums worked closing out the race. But I'm sure that he is in a very, very tense position, and that's a very easy thing to forget.
It might have been a situation where he had made a stop for softs and just automatically thought that because of the safety car with 10 laps to go, softs would be enough to finish the race, not knowing that he had not run mediums.
Yeah. Man, that is absolutely brutal. Very costly mistake out here. I'm curious if he even knows at this point. Hawk in second, Jacob in third. Yeah. I don't know if he's in the party over there.
Unless you go right into the driver chat.
Right.
I don't think, because he will not know. They will not even tell him or anything.
Rangers still leading the way, almost a second in front of Hawk now, but Jacob is right behind Hawk. Jordan right behind Jacob. These three drivers very, very close as they head into the corner, and Jacob just diving it in there. Hawk with a fantastic run so far tonight. Lost out on the lead from Rangers. We'll see if he can't get that back, but unfortunate events have turned for Jacob. Has only run the soft tire compound so far. He will have to make another stop and take a different tire compound. You have to use at least 2 different compounds per race.
The real tragedy is there's only 2 cars on track that have not picked up penalties after almost all of them getting cleared on that last caution.
Jacob is one. Yeah, Jacob makes a pass for second. Hawk is gonna be third now. Hawk gets another penalty, 3-second time penalty for him. There's so many happenings this race. This is absolutely crazy. TomTom says DRS, baby. They can use it. Lap 33 of 36. This race is coming down to a wire. It's still unknown if Jacob realizes that he has not yet used a different compound here. Man, what a heartbreaker to find out after the race if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, and we're getting down to the point where if he did know, it wouldn't be good for him to pit right now because a caution could come out. But I think starting this lap, even if a caution comes out, it's too late.
It's really a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. Basically the only way to save him is a safety car, a full safety car, and I don't think I think it might be too late for that now.
Absolutely wild. The only 2 drivers out on track who have not gotten a penalty, as you heard him say, Rangers and Jacob. Rangers looking to grab another win this season, and that is going to make win number 10, if I'm not mistaken. Championship has been locked for Rangers as of last week. And tonight he's showing he still has the speed needed after starting from the rear of the field. Daniel Ricciardo leaving McLaren and moving to NASCAR. Wait, what?
I don't think the moving to NASCAR part has been confirmed yet, but there's been a lot of talk.
Really?
Yeah, Ricciardo is set to leave McLaren at the end of the season.
Oh,
wow.
and trouble for Jacob.
Jacob falls.
First corner.
What happened with him? I missed that.
He overshot
He
turn one.
overcooked it. Yeah, he overcooked it going into one, and the back end came around. And I feel for him. That is a tragic mistake to make.
Yeah.
But maybe it will take a little bit of the sting off of, I'm going to blame it on his pit crew's mishap putting the wrong tires on. Let's go with that story.
Yeah,
his pit crew just put the wrong tires on there for him.
After
He's the one driving the car. It's not his fault. The equipment is not what it should be.
What's the car chief's name? The principal's name? Jeff?
Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
Damn it,
what
Jeff.
the heck?
Oh my gosh. Racer, I mean, you have very good points. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
That like I said, that was a very, very good observation there. We would not have seen that, and we would have been confused, wondering why you would have got a penalty.
So yeah, speaking of penalties, so what exactly happens if you do not use two tire compounds? He's coming
right
onto
now,
pit
so we're
lane.
not gonna find out.
Yeah.
I believe from what Tim said, it would be a straight up DQ if he didn't get a different set of tires. So he would have gone to last place, possibly even behind him.
Yeah, he's out on the medium, so that has been solved.
DQs would mean to be very back of the pack, even behind the DNFs.
It was
we will not know.
This was a very valiant effort, and
absolutely.
As heartbreaking as that may be, I hope Jacob keeps his head up and is proud of how well he ran overall.
Oh,
absolutely. So. Yes. As far as penalty goes, Hawk has 6 seconds in penalties. J-Mac Attack, who is not that far off of him, he's got 3, so that could switch things up. This is the final lap. This is it, you guys. Ranger's still on the roll, and he is coming around the final part here, getting ready to cross the line for the win at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Congratulations to him. He is the champion of the season. Jordan McGraw gonna come home in 2nd. Hawk in 3rd. Leaf Justin has yet to cross the line. There he goes in 4th. Bloomy in 5th. Great run for him. A top 5 tonight. Dion gonna be 6. Go ahead.
Penalties are gonna reshuffle the podium, and it's going to be a Mercedes 1-2.
Yes, Rangers first, J-Mac 2nd after those penalties. Bloomy 5th, Hokie Fan 6th, Dion 7th, Jacob in 8th, and JC in 9th. And Jacob, man, just heartbroken. Absolutely heartbroken for him.
And in terms of the championships, Rangers showing just how good of a champion is with the icing on the cake. Last to first in the last race of the season, and with a Mercedes 1-2, they sealed the championship and the final race of the season.
Rangers driver of the day.
A walk-off win it's not supposed to be this. It's supposed to be after you secured the championship. It was supposed to be last week.
Yeah,
absolutely crazy.
As you win it.
Yeah. Well, he got last week.
Yeah, last week was the exclamation point. This week was highlighting.
The cherry. This is a cherry on top. Holster says Curta F1 on Xbox is Big John to iRacing. Yeah, you're crazy. You're crazy. All right, let's get Rangers in here. Where am I trying to go? I promise I halfway know what I'm doing. All right, we'll get Rangers. J-Mac Attack.
So just running through the grid here. Got Rangers, J-Mac, and Hawk finishing the podium 1-3. Justin in 4th. Bloomy 5th. Hokie 6th. Dion gets 7th. Jacob 8th, which very unfortunately finished it there. Put a hell of a fight.
And when do you guys invite
JC
Hawk?
9th.
He's showing anonymous, I think.
JC in 9th place finishing the finishers. then Culture Panda and Maya finishes off. What a way to end the season, eh?
A wild race. Hopefully we can get someone to get Hawk in here. But Rangers, you have the championship already. You came home and brought the win out tonight. Man, started from the rear. Did you? I'm gonna assume that tonight you knew that you were safe, so you chose to start from the rear of the field.
Yeah, we did. Nothing crazy or anything like that, but decided to start back there and see what we can do. One of the few people to go on the mediums, and it was all working out great, to be honest with you. I mean, I was happy either way. I mean, happy with the safety car, and I was happy if there wasn't a safety car. So I was happy either way.
Yeah, a wild race all through the starts of the race and throughout. Some unfortunate events for JC, I do believe that was that. I don't know if you know, but he stayed on the same tires until the very last stop. So wild to see all this play out, but man, you brought home the championship. So a huge congratulations to you. I'm pretty sure that's your 10th win of the season. Am I correct?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm just more happy that J-Mac got second. We got the Constructors Championship too, so.
Yeah, Constructors Championship. You got the championship for the drivers. All I can say is great job to you. You had a great season and another great night.
Appreciate it.
All right, Sky, you want to take J-Mac for second place? Give him an interview.
Give it a shot.
All right.
J-Mac, nice job.
Oh dear.
Sneaking out a second place out of all that. Were you nervous when that penalty came up on the pit stop? How did you recover from that?
Well, yeah, we got a couple of penalties. There was one where I was going to pass a car and he paused or dropped or something, and his AI took a hard left, and I had to dodge it, and it gave me a course cutting penalty on the front straight. So that was 3 seconds right there. And then, yeah, I whenever I went to pit, I mean, I got great tire wear. You know, I was carried by the car setup all night. Actually had some decent pace compared to everybody except my teammate who was blowing around me on worse tires. But, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I was carried by the car pretty much the entire night and got really great tire wear. And was able to cut the race in half on the soft tire, and then got the pit road, and I got woed down. I felt like perfectly, and it was at 50, and pit road speed was 50, and it gave me the penalty anyway. So I was very disappointed in that, but I mean there was no reason for me to push that hard anyway. But I was trying to. Because I was trying to make sure, because I had 3 seconds I needed to make up somehow over the course of the race, and that gave me 5 seconds. But yeah, during the safety car, we were able to come in, serve the penalty, serve 5 seconds, and which I guess that ended up working out. I was kind of wanting to see how that race would have unfurled without it, but I think it ended up benefiting me that it came out because it let me take the penalty and race hard from there, and yeah, just tried to stay clean. We had a crazy moment where I think JC nipped the grass like behind us on like the second lap of that restart, and I felt contact. I think he got my right rear, but it didn't get me, so it didn't hurt me too bad. So we were able to keep going, and yeah, just trying to stay with those guys. And then I didn't realize that Jacob had not put the other tires on yet.
He didn't either.
I was very curious about that, but yeah, I was trying really hard to stay with him. I was with Hawk. He had a little more pace than he did. I was burning my stuff up trying to stay with him, but I was trying to get around him because I needed to get around Jacob and somehow put 3 seconds on him in like 2 laps, which is I think physically impossible. But in my brain, that was what I was trying to do. But yeah, just then he spun out and it was like, hey, I can kind of ride here, but competitive spirit. I still wanted to try to pass Hawk on the racetrack because winning on penalties or winning a position on penalties is kind of lame, but wasn't able to get it done. But yeah, just had fun, just laps, tried not to hit things, which is usually the goal here on in the F1 league, and sometimes it ends with with mundane races where I finish in the middle of the pack, and sometimes it ends up with these weird ones where I'm somehow on the podium. So I'll absolutely take it, and happy to contribute to Mercedes points, and all in all, it was a fun season.
Well, enjoy that champagne. Great run today, J-Mac.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have JDM Hawk, who brought it home third after some penalties, had a fantastic race. David, you want to have a chat with him?
Okay, well, right. Basically, one thing from what I'm asking is all the talk going into the race was the championships. The Rangers already sealed the singles. We were talking about Mercedes and Ferrari going after the constructors. You were neither of those. You're basically a spectator for the whole thing. Talking to what was the mindset going into this race, and what goals were you thinking of having coming into the final race of the season?
I don't know. No comment. I was just robbed out of a win with that safety car, and then penalties went on a downhill. But all the race, I just got robbed. Sure. But yeah.
Was there any little bit of friendly competition with you and Culture going into that race? Because it's all the two of you were pretty much going head to head the whole time until unfortunately he crashed out in the middle. Was that something else you were thinking in the back of your head as you were going along until the accident?
To be honest, I thought he was gonna fight for the position, but I guess not. Yes, he wanted me to win for sure, but then that safety car came out. So yeah, we were kind of pissed off, but yeah.
A bit unfortunate culture going on, but all things considered, congratulations on the third place finish, and hopefully it won't be last we see you. We can keep going into next season.
All right, that's it from us out here. The Brazilian Grand Prix finishes out the round of 16 for the F1 series out here. The drivers did amazing. They've had their ups, they've had their downs. We've seen how it's played out. So I just want to say huge congratulations to all the drivers. Amazing job to them, and Dion for being the owner of the league and doing such a fantastic job. The drivers, and David for joining me in the booth. Sky, thank you so much, you guys. It's been fun. We'll see when the next season starts. We'll have to give you guys the news on when that will happen. Until then, you guys have a great night. I hope to be back tomorrow night around 7 p.m. Eastern time. Not sure what we're going to be doing yet, but we'll figure it out. Until then, you guys have a great night. Take it easy.